welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Drew here, and it is no secret that getting a good deal on a vehicle in this market climate is a challenge. And by the way, it's been a challenge for the last 2 years. And however, if you're a Turo host, you have several different advantages. I'm going to talk about 4 different advantages that you have. Make sure you're using them in your car buying purchases for your fleet. It really gives you a much greater edge compared to an average consumer. Let's talk about it. Let's jump in. All right, guys, so look, the first advantage that you have as a Turo host and that you should be utilizing is that most consumers, when they're purchasing a vehicle, they're coming from, they're replacing a vehicle, or a vehicle is in a total loss, or, their vehicle broke down. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and now it's their time to buy a new vehicle, their normal purchasing cycle. And they're either replacing a vehicle, they're replacing a minivan with a minivan, or a truck with a truck, or an economy car with maybe they're going to an SUV, or they may be going to a different style of vehicle, but they're really singularly focused on what they want. Maybe it's a third row SUV. Maybe it's an economy car. Maybe it's a truck, or whatever it is. But you as a Turo host, you should never be singularly focused on one style of vehicle. I would like to purchase one more vehicle this month. And, I have a list of about 5 or 6 different types of vehicles that I'm interested in. And I'm waiting for the right deal to fall in front of me. And just so you know, I've been talking about 6 to 8 seater vehicles, and how they're going to be very strong revenue this entire year. But my fleet, I have about 45% of my fleet is 6 to 8 seat vehicles, whether it's vans and SUVs. And so I'm a little light on the smaller SUVs. So the vehicles that I'm looking at is the Chevy Trailblazer. It's a great new style of vehicle, and the MSRPs on them are fairly moderate, from low 20s to mid 20s. I'm looking at the Mitsubishi Outlander. I never thought I'd be recommending Outlander, but I got a video coming up explaining why the Mitsubishi Outlander, the new body style, 22 and up, may be one of the perfect vehicles to purchase for Turo. I'm looking at any Subaru PHEV for the tax credit and for the residual value of Subarus, the trade-in values. A Toyota RAV4, I need to get one of those, and I'm going to get one eventually here. I'd love to get another Kia Carnival. I have 5, 6, 7 different types of vehicles, a little bit different style, not boxing myself in, and that allows me to, when the right deal presents itself, to be able to jump on it and take advantage of that, making sure I'm purchasing a great vehicle, an in-demand vehicle, and a vehicle that's under market value. The second advantage that you have, so the first advantage you have is not being exclusive to one style of vehicle. The second advantage you have is you don't have to purchase a vehicle. Now, a regular consumer will say this many times when they're buying they're trying to buy a vehicle. Well, I don't need to purchase a vehicle. I don't have to have a new vehicle. Well, most of the time they do. If they didn't have to have a different type of vehicle, maybe they're driving a truck and it's $400 a week in gasoline, and they have to downsize, or they're not going to have a house to live in. Most consumers right now, if they didn't have to make a change and have to make a purchase, they wouldn't be looking at a vehicle, because this is really not the best time to buy a vehicle for average consumers. And so, but as a Turo host, you really don't have to purchase. And I would encourage you to have this mindset. You don't need to buy a vehicle this month or next month. You can ride your fleet out, and you should be just aware of what deals are out there. And if the right deal presents itself, you jump on it, you purchase it, and out of your fleet. You don't have to purchase, but let the right dealership, make it beneficial for you to want to purchase that vehicle. That's number 2. Number 3 is recent purchasing expectations. If you've been in the Turo business for any period of time, generally, you probably made 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe purchases this past year, or more within the last 2 years. And that gives you a tremendous advantage over a regular consumer who they're coming in, they haven't bought a car in 3 years or 4 years or 5, 6, 7 years. And the amount that has changed in the car buying process in that period of time, it's almost like a shock and awe. And, forget I'm going to grind them down and get a good deal. That ain't happening nowadays. But you have the advantage of knowing what to expect, not wasting your time over and over again, with games from different types of dealerships. You already have, different experiences. You know what to do, and that can be a big advantage in getting a good value and walking out of the dealership with a great vehicle for your fleet and under market value. And look, you've already purchased vehicles in the past. Maybe you purchased stuff you didn't need in the finance office, and you realize, yeah, man, I kind of slipped up on that. You learn from those experiences, and you get better, you get sharper, and you get more confident in the car buying process the more deals that you've done. And that's a big advantage compared to a regular consumer. You need to make sure when you leave the dealership that you walked out of there with a great vehicle, an in-demand vehicle, under market value. That's what you want. And the more experience you have in that is a great thing to have. Number 4, and that is multiple connections in the different dealerships. If you bought several cars over the last few years, you're going to have a good salesperson or a good contact at that dealership, and you can utilize that. I've been utilizing that massively the last 6 to 8 months. I have good, very high productive salesmen in each dealership, and I let them know, man, as soon as a Outlander lands on your lot in SE trim with leather or the premium package, I want to be the first person to text. And that gives you, you can waste lots of time online looking for different vehicles, but the dealerships, their websites are not the most up-to-date now. There's vehicles that looks like it's in stock, but it's en route. It could be 2, 3, 4 weeks away. And I have contacts at multiple different dealerships that I'm texting once a month, every couple weeks. Hey, did you get your allotment for the RAV4 Prime? I want to be on your list. Don't forget about me. I need to get one of these ordered. When's your next shipment of Carnivals coming in? Is it en route? Do you know what color it is? Do you know what trim it is? And I want to get bits of information that give me the edge from a regular consumer who doesn't have the connections that I have from the dealerships. And I want to get multiple texts from different salespeople. They know I'm a real buyer. I bought in multiple cars from them in the past. And they know I'm a serious buyer. They know I can make a decision. And when the right deal comes in, the right vehicle comes in from dealerships that I know are willing to sell at MSRP or a little bit less, then I can jump on those offers and jump on those deals. So you need to be doing that as well. Even if you're new to the Turo business, you should be making a list of these 4 things. And every time you purchase a vehicle, be thinking about, is this a good salesperson that has some swing, that knows what he's doing, or is he just totally a beginner? Maybe he's been there for 3, 4 weeks or a couple months. Is he a good contact for me to have to use that in the future? Building relationships at your key dealerships of the key brands that you want to purchase in the future, and that can be pivotal, not only this year, but the next 2 to 3 years as inventory will continue to be tight. One big warning on the Turo business, look, I've been buying multiple new vehicles, 5, 6, 7 new vehicles within the last 12 months, locking in rates at 2%, when inflation is 8% of in-demand vehicles that I felt like could actually increase in value. Those margins are going to come down. So the Fed has already, recently has raised interest rates 0.75%. It's the highest increase in 28 years. They're committed to bringing inflation down. So inflation, I anticipate, will come down from that 8, 9, 10% range down to the 5%, 4% range. And in addition to that, auto loans are going to be in the 3s, 4s, and 5s, even if you got great credit. So what I need to make sure that I'm doing, and you should be doing as well, is in the past, I've been trading vehicles in 12 months in, 18 months in. Anytime I have front-end profit and good rental profit, I'll trade it in on the next one and get a state trade-in tax credit. when I do that. But now I have to really think about it, because I'll be trading in vehicles that are 2% on vehicles that are maybe 4% or higher. And so I really have to evaluate, is that going to be beneficial in the long run? And you need to do the same thing as well. So, if you need to make purchases, I would try to get something in the next month or two, because rates will continue to rise the rest of this year, and that can really affect your profit margins in the future. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Until next time, thanks for tuning in, and I appreciate you guys.